So we can explore Andrew's Corner later.
I have another podcast called Confident Weeping.
And confident weeping. Oh, Jesus.
What are we going to do about the other generation? How will we ever communicate without communication? When we are using words of other way.
They're much too big to try to dig the colorful things we say.
And welcome back
And we're back.
with a whole new do,
A whole new do, a whole new week, whole new brew.
whole new shit, a whole new brew. We actually do.
Welcome back
Wow, that was
to
a lot of fucking rhyming shit right
Hey,
there.
fuck yeah.
That went a little.
I am the pentameter. No. Anyways, welcome to. Well,
What are you listening
that's-
to?
What are you listening to?
Well, that's your opinion.
Well, that's
man.
your opinion, man.
Absolutely.
All right. Where we talk about news and shit.
News and we take shits, right?
Well, you know, we're Americans and normal peeps.
We're grown-ass men.
Yeah, we're
We can
grown-ass
do what we
men.
want.
We do
All
what
right.
we want. We poop and whatever.
Poop.
Jesus.
I'm wearing a diaper.
I'm wearing a diaper.
That's the dumbest thing in the fucking world.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right. So welcome back, you guys.
Absolutely.
So what we did was we actually we're having two recordings this week.
Yeah.
So the first recording is Andrew just kind of reading. I'll let you.
Yeah, so basically, and I think our main topic this week, I know I had said last week was going to be the abortion bill. However, something new's come up. And
Abortion isn't important.
It's going to go away soon.
It's gonna
anyways.
go away. It's just a fad.
No one's going to be talking about
Abortion
that a week
is
from
just
now.
a fad.
All right, it's just a fad.
Give it a week.
Just give it a week. Everyone calm down, all right? How long can we really talk about this?
I know. Yeah.
So no. The big whole, I guess,
One big.
shit show
Yeah.
that has been going on has been all about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, her Green New Deal.
You
that
need
she
to say
has
that
released.
so people actually hear it. So
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
perfect. There you go.
AOC, to be referred to here on out.
AOC is the place. To
AOC!
be. Motherfuckers rhyming.
AOC!
AOC.
Okay.
We're the AOC. Yeah, you know
Oh,
me.
fuck. But no, so her Green New Deal has either been praised or ridiculously shit on over the last
Yeah. So
week
she
and a half
has
or
a
so.
deal. Which
A
is
resolution.
called a resolution.
It's a resolution.
It's
Not
a
a bill,
it's
but a resolution.
Okay, a resolution. It's almost bill-like.
It's very Bill-like. And speaking of Bill, I'm sure Bill would love to get at AOC. Oh!
He would not have sexual relations with that woman.
He would not. He did not inhale her. I don't know where I'm going with that. And Chris just walked out of the room to fuck with his dog again, like he fucking always does. But no, the other podcast that we are releasing this week, it was short, maybe 15 minutes. All we did was, in doing my research on this bill, it was very hard to find just a transcript. If you were just kind of decently interested in it and you just kind of wanted to know, finding the actual letter of the bill or the resolution that she had released,
Yeah.
it wasn't just out there. You
That's
had to dig a
super
little.
frustrating.
It took me 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It took me 20 minutes.
That's
But
crazy.
I went to like 16 different websites.
Well, what's crazy, but
20
like
different
you're not
websites.
the average person, consumer,
no.
just looking at the news, whatever, you know.
No, and like it took I was like, I want to get this bill.
Yeah.
I was spent 20 minutes just trying to find it, which is an odd thing to have. Everything I found was just some asshole's opinion about it. I didn't want an asshole's opinion. I wanted Alexandria Cortez's resolution.
So and real quick, and so like I always wonder, because there are times where like I go online and it takes me forever to get because I'll see something about something in the news.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I want to know more about that. Mm-hmm. And then when I search it in Google or whatever, like you'll get all of the Fox News, CNN, everyone
the
else's
shit show is always front and center.
Yeah, and
really
I'm like,
is.
well, yeah, but I just want to know where is the original article,
Exactly.
or whatever.
Where is the unfiltered news at, and it's actually really difficult to find.
So my man Andrew over here
Yes.
found it.
We found it, and I'm not saying I would dug in some back file in the middle of nowhere, but we have it here, and the other podcast is just me simply and as unbiasedly as possible reading the bill.
Yeah. So I mean, it's only like 10, maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It's basically just this. If you want to know more and what the bill says, rather than having to scour the internet for 15, 20 minutes.
And if you don't want to read it, if you just
yeah.
want to put it on the background in your car,
Yeah.
you can get it read to you.
Yep.
And you can kind of pass through the bullshit like we're about to do about this.
Yeah,
bill.
yeah. I
So,
mean, and there's nothing better than Andrew's sultry voice.
just reading to you,
Just reading plain as fuck.
your ear.
Yeah.
Was that ASMR?
I'm not sure.
ASMR.
all I'm thinking, I'm just laughing is like, yeah, I presented it to everyone on the podcast, but in whisper.
But in whisper.
It's like-
I should have done that. I should have sultry minxed the shit out of it. All right.
So like in section 4, like super.
I have to take a break to wipe the spit off the mic.
Oh Jesus Christ! Oh man. All right. First, let's so we have a few things. A lot of shit happened in the news and all that.
State of the
but
Union happened.
State of the Union,
Yep.
which is right there.
Yep.
But
Which we're going
let's-
to kind of ignore, but go ahead.
Well,
Chris.
no, I at least want to bring it up a little
We'll
bit.
bring it
Yeah,
up
yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit.
But first, we are going to go about our beer of the week.
We only have one this week.
We only have one this week.
Keeping it short.
It's a 5.3-er ABV, which is
we go.
alcohol by volume. On average, let's say, and I feel like I need to continually say, hey, like, I feel like now more and more people
People know
drink
alcohol
craft brews.
percentage.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
I suppose, we got some nerds, I'm sure, out
I
there.
remember
Yeah.
I like part of my family that all they would drink is like Miller Lite or like Coors Light. Like
I grew up on Keystone, bro.
what's so funny though is
Alright.
like I would bring my beers, which
Yeah.
were craft brews,
Fucking
and they'd always
hoity-toity.
give
Look
me,
at the rich dude over here.
Well, no, yeah,
Alright.
like and they always give me shit about it. But then it's like now, you guys are drinking the hoppy beers now? Oh, you're bringing the,
Yeah.
which is great though. I love it though. Anyway.
Hops. Hops give you man boobs, just so you know. Scientifically
is it-
proven. Hops lead to man boobs. Or
Oh,
they
dang.
they
Is it
help
just
cause
because
man boobs.
hops are made from soybeans? Is that-
Boobs? They're made from boobs.
All right. Anyways, so the beer
dumbest
of
thing
the
I've said.
fucking week, beer of the week, is by City Lights Brewing Company. They're brewed in Milwaukee,
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, correct? Yes. It's called. It's just simply coconut porter. That's all it says. Is just coconut porter. It's a decent white can, pretty decent. I don't know. I mean,
What's that candy bar? It tastes like a Mounds bar. Is that Mounds bar? Is that the one with the coconut?
Almond Joy.
Almond Joy. No.
Oh, Mounds is
Mounds
without
bar.
almonds. Yeah.
It has coconut though.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Mounds bar.
Well, Mounds bar is without the almond,
Okay.
and then when you get Almond Joy, that has almond in it. It's the same
Okay.
candy bar.
Okay. It's got nuts and this white stuff in it.
Yep.
Almond Joys.
It's all about you. Yeah.
Almond had a lot of
There
joy.
Yes, almond.
No, it's
All right.
really dumb.
So, anyways, yeah, I mean, pretty decent for a coconut porter. I noticed like nowadays too, these beers are getting sweeter.
Sweet as fuck.
Sweeter and
I
sweeter.
don't like sweet.
Yeah.
I like bitter. I do like bitter. That's why I like my oatmeal stouts. That's why I like my my dark chocolate
Yep.
breakfast stouts.
I don't mind this though. I feel like
It's
it's
not bad.
almost a little chocolatey. It's not too
it's an
sweet.
easy sipper.
It's a nice sipper coconut porter.
It is. It
Boom by
is.
City Lights.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't have a beer this week because I drank all of mine. So
That's all right.
Yeah.
Chris will provide.
Chris will provide. I will say this is probably my most sober podcast out of all the ones.
No,
we've
this is
hosted
great
so
though. No,
far.
this is fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty decent topics for
We got good
there's-
topics this week.
yeah.
I'm just saying I haven't drank that much
Yeah.
this time.
So, let's. I mean, we can go through a little bit of the the news.
We can
or
go
just
over
kind
what
of,
went
like,
over a little bit.
I feel like a lot of shit has happened during this week.
A lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
I would say. I would say the majority of it has been conjectured bullshit
Okay.
over throughout the week. Especially,
okay.
Chris, I guess, how about this? Would you just react to the State of the Union? You watched it, right?
So I actually watched the State of the Union.
Made ya. Or told you to.
Yeah, you totally like watched it tonight. What's
Fucking watch
so funny is that I totally forgot about it, and I just turned on my TV and it was on that station. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is what I'm watching.
Yep.
I watched the whole thing. I'll be honest, I haven't really watched, or I have watched State of the Unions, but I don't really remember them.
Yeah.
I remember watching like one or two of Obama's.
Sure.
And before that, like I've seen them.
They're not. It's more of a show than hugely important.
So like,
honestly,
from where I'm standing, I just see him just bringing in these different people.
Yeah.
And like sharing their stories. And
which is pretty. I think that's happened before.
Yeah, no, I know, but like I'm not used to. I guess I'm not used to seeing this, the way like it presented.
Donald Trump get caught by a black woman.
Yeah,
so you're not used to seeing that.
Well, what's so funny is like that's all for show. It's all for show, and like
if she knew it was all for show and got her sentence commuted from life, she'd be and fucking that's, drive me around the country if you want.
Well, here's what's so crazy though is like even I forget what was the guy. His sentence was reduced, and it's the first act. Oh shoot! Oh man, this is bad.
I remember the black chick, and.
I wanted to research it because that's one of the topics that I actually did want to talk about.
You talking about the black guy?
Yeah. It's called. It was.
Was it a drug offense?
Yeah, it's a bill or something that passed.
Oh, the First Step Initiative.
The First Step Initiative.
I think it was called. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, that's fucking awesome. Yeah.
And it's something I've never heard of. Surprisingly,
so we need to research and I want to talk about.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
That.
Yeah,
it's
that's okay.
Like just bringing it up and not knowing what the hell we're talking about. But anyways,
apparently some prison reform bill was passed.
Correct.
I didn't fucking hear about it, and I'm pretty well versed on the news. Not a fucking peep. When did this come out?
Yeah, it's recent, and so one thing. Hell? I mean, it's great, but also. I don't think it's really going to help that many people as you think it's going to. I started looking into it.
Step in the right direction.
It's kind of but also though it's very mixed. And I want to give you more
like
information
the prison
about
population.
Yeah, it's sad.
Shit.
But so I feel like he brought these people out, and you know it's like to cut it black and white.
I don't think he was parading them.
Oh,
is that what you're getting at?
I feel like he's like, hey, look at my black friend over here. We're good. I'm good with the black people. And I'm like, I don't like that.
I would say that's
and I'm saying good for we have the most women ever.
Well, yeah, but it's also
like,
I would say that's also
man.
A reaction to the unfair stereotypes that have been put on him.
Well,
if you ask a lot of people, this is the most racist president ever. Has he ever said anything outwardly racist?
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
He said things that are maybe not the nicest way to put things. However, to say that he is just the most bigoted person in the world, I don't see it. I just don't see it.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't like the guy. And this is my personal. And this is my.
Well, I think it makes him easy to hate. I think he makes him easy to hate.
I was gonna ask this question just because I'm like, does Donald Trump own a dog?
Go ahead.
No. Does he?
I don't. Probably.
Like, how would he treat like a dog? Like, I'm just curious. Like, is he? And I feel like that's how I like.
He treats a black person.
No.
What are you talking about?
I'm just saying, like basic decent. Human
like
decency.
A good person.
Like a good person.
Like,
and
how would he treat his dog?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I don't think this dude would treat a dog really well.
I
don't know. And it's one of those things that's like, I would love to see it.
That kind of a guy would not have as much family loyalty as he does. They have good he has good family loyalty.
Yeah.
He must be. I mean, he's brash. He's a business guy. But how many people have outright abandoned him that he is close to? How many ex-wives does he have? He has 2 ex-wives. None of them are shitting on him in the news.
Because he's probably
they could had
other people.
If they released a book, though, they could make millions. They have plenty of incentive to shit on the president. But they don't. Kids the same way. They're not some asshole kids. They're running his company. You know, that's a lot.
We're getting money, yeah.
That's a lot. It's a lot of money.
So anyways,
but there's no fuck you dad in that family, which is I'm sure with the whole Ivanka thing, that's really funny. But
so okay, to get back to what the State of the Union.
I hate having to defend Donald Trump.
No,
I don't like doing it.
I'm not
gonna vote for
like,
the dude.
And that's the thing is like I'm not like.
I think a lot's
Realistically,
been
I feel like what happened, that whole address, is just for fucking show.
Oh, it's political grandstand.
Then why are we all? And I feel like it was the same thing, and I'm going to relate it to just what we just saw last night. I don't know if you saw this, but the Grammys were last night.
I didn't watch the Grammys.
Big thing. So it's the Grammys.
Yep.
It's a shit show. It's just dumb. And these awards shows are like,
It's a circle jerk.
it's a circle
It's
jerk.
a
And
circle
I'm sorry,
jerk.
like,
Who fucking cares about these millionaires
Me-
patting each other on the back?
from where I am, not being that political, and I'm seeing all these people like when Donald Trump will say something, they all stand up and clap.
Yep.
And then you can see, who's not clapping? Who is standing up? Who isn't? And then, of course, all the women in the white, which is the Me Too. But I
Women's
pretty
suffrage.
Sure
It was the
yeah,
100th
they called it women's
anniversary.
suffrage rather than Me
Well,
Too.
it was the 100th anniversary, I
Oh,
guess,
okay.
of the women's right to vote.
Oh, okay, cool,
1917.
cool. Okay, yeah.
No, 1919 is when women got the right to vote. I thought it was
not-
1917. I was wrong.
I'm not sure.
1919
What was
must
the Susan B. Anthony? Is it the 1917, 1918?
be. Wasn't she the one that made the American flag?
Shut up. No. Jesus. Andrew, you're completely way off. It's
You ignorant
1920.
Andrew, you ignorant
Andrew,
slut.
you ignorant slut. It's 1920. Oh, Jesus. All right.
We didn't just pause there and look that shit up and to make sure we had it right.
Andrew, you ignorant slut.
Well, yeah, you know what? It was the fucking 19th Amendment, you dumb piece of shit.
1920
All
at
right?
1900 hours.
So it was 1920, and it was the 19th Amendment.
19th Amendment, yes.
Why were they wearing the shit then?
I mean, I don't
Who
even
celebrates 99 years?
Yeah,
It's
right.
100.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay,
Who
so
knows?
this show was just a show to me.
Oh, yeah. It's all political theater, political bullshit.
But why, but like, I still can't believe how many Americans watch this. Well, I guess here's my question: is do Americans watch this and say, "Oh yeah, this is a great speech," or even like, "Oh yeah, like this was great. This helps his like all of it is scripted,
Well,
all of it
yeah.
is whatever. It's all in place." I don't get it.
I suppose if you want to get a shitty little snapshot of what the next year might look like, that's okay. Because there was some, this is what I want, this is what I'm going to work for, and say, it's a concise, quick way to get what the president might be driving towards in a little, throughout the next few months. However, there's going to be a lot of fucking pushback on it.
That's what she said.
A lot of pushback on it.
Watch out, Chris. There's gonna be a lot of pushback.
I don't know what that means, Chris.
I don't know what that
What does that
mean.
even mean?
You know what?
I feel like you should explain that a little bit.
I don't know.
Make it not sound.
If I need to, I ain't got nothing.
A lot of
All
pushback.
right. Okay. So there was the State of the Union address, of course. But then what else?
I mean,
happened?
well, okay. What did you have anything specific that struck you in any way besides the parading of people, which I think kind of happens on a regular basis?
No. I'll be honest. Like, in all honesty, I made it a point to watch and to listen.
Yep.
But then, like, I noticed my brain was like just not in it, and like I would when he would talk, I would just totally get distracted, and like it wasn't, I don't know. It's very hard to. It's all he was just talking.
Yeah.
He was just talking about how great
yeah.
America is, how number one we are.
Yeah.
All of these like figures that I'm not sure are that correct. I have seen videos of I would say more Democrats, liberals, like
Yeah.
totally saying, "Oh, that's totally wrong." All of his.
Well, I think the biggest takeaway was, the thing is you've already heard, the people listening at home, you've already fucking heard all the fucking bullshit people reacting to it. I
Yeah.
don't think we really need to talk about the speech because it's been fucking hammered on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think what I want to talk about for the tiniest little bit is how much it was all the same things coming from all the media, basically saying, look at our president, he's a fucking moron.
Correct.
It was everyone. PBS was so
I was watching.
liberal.
Holy
shit.
So that's where I watched it. I actually watched the PBS.
PBS, a government funded entity, basically said the president is an idiot.
Yeah.
He said eloquence, he's allergic to eloquence, more or less. And I'm like, who the fuck are you? And why does everyone look like B-movie news anchors on that show? You got like the B-movie Rachel Maddow with the short fucking hair. It was just, I thought that was funny.
No.
Like
It's
PBS,
funny.
they don't get the A actors. It's all like little knockoffs, right?
Yeah.
It's
no
Captain Crinch.
Captain.
Captain Crinch is delivering the news.
Well, what's so funny is that do people not real? I mean,
Colonel Crunch.
Colonel Crunch.
Colonel Crunch. There we go.
But no, when I watched the PBS syndication or not syndicate,
syndicate, whatever
Yeah.
events, yep.
Yeah, they already were giving their opinions.
Yeah.
And even throughout too, they had the woman. I forget, she was in her glasses, nerdy, and she took them off to get more serious, whatever. But like
The blonde.
no, she had like red hair.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah. But yeah, it was just super interesting how they weren't
Predetermined they were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like and
It's
like
incredible.
me as a viewer, which I don't have any real ties. And I'm like, come on, man, you're not helping this at all.
To a person who's like, that is the one time they're going to see the president.
Yeah.
They probably knew a lot of people are just going to watch that this year, and
Yeah.
that's going to be it. And they had to shit on it as much as
Yeah.
quickly as possible
yep.
because they're going to lose them, immediately after.
Yeah.
So I kind of wonder if they were just doggy piling on this because they had maybe a different audience than they normally would have.
Yeah.
Which is very possible.
Yeah.
Because it's basically, on every news channel,
I-
they stop everything to play it on a lot of channels. So
It's like highly circle,
Yeah.
and it's just my the biggest thing. I mean, not biggest thing, but
dude, the economic news on it was incredible. That's incredible.
as far as how many jobs, and,
Dude, we are
unemployment.
living in a great time right now.
Here's what
and
I
to have so much fucking shit turmoil.
I have to laugh because he was saying that the unemployment rate, whatever, right?
Yep.
He gave some sort of figure, right?
Yep.
And then I saw the other day describing like, oh, the president said it was this much that, and then they came back with the actual statistic, and there it was essentially saying like, Donald Trump said that there was 500,000 people not on
Food
stamps anymore,
Welfare
right?
anymore, yeah.
And he's
Yep.
like, but the real
Because they cut food stamps.
yeah, but he's but then I read like or saw like yes, but it was actually only like 400. It's like what? That's
So
still
okay, well
great,
yeah,
though.
there was one thing, and the thing is I've kind of heard this on other sites was it was like the number of women that are sexually abused going across the border from Mexico.
Yeah.
He said it was 1/3. It was actually 31%, and they called it like a Pinocchio.
It's
like he
so
said he lied.
dumb.
It's splitting hairs just to
I
gray
rolled-
the area.
I rolled my eyes with the whole.
It's
he talked
disingenuous.
about. I hate it though. It's like, come on, man. Like, with Donald Trump, like that whole people coming. He's like, oh, there's murders, there's rapists, and all that. It's like MS-13s.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Dude, come on.
Well, the thing is, it's like, well, I'm talking, well, kind of staying on what we were talking about. The news, it does in the end a disservice to everyone. Because it's not a genuine conversation.
Correct.
It's just mudslinging bullshit
Yep.
without any kind of, there is no respect for the listener in these conversations. They just want to shit in our ears.
Yep.
And who else are we going to turn to? Because everyone else is just doing the exact same thing. Except your weekly podcast.
Yeah, you're right. Except our weekly podcast.
Well, that's your opinion, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Maybe that's a bit of a maybe,
This pizza's really hot.
maybe it's a little, I can't think of the word. It starts with a C, Chris.
Cunty.
Cunty. Maybe that's a little cunty. Maybe that's a little, doom and gloom. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe people are just trying their best, and maybe they're just really worried about shit.
Yeah,
That's about as level-headed as I'm gonna get.
Yeah, it's difficult when I watch that show.
Yeah,
and
it was a show,
and just being curious what other people are thinking about, but also like, man, just how many people are
It's
being influenced.
incredibly similar
Like, fuck.
to the Grammys.
Yeah,
It's political Grammys. Is
It's-
all it really
that's
is.
what it felt like.
And that's really
it was a shit show last night.
In all honesty, and this is where it goes. President Trump shouldn't be that important. The position is not intended as being an important position.
Yeah.
He's one man. We shouldn't be staying up at night. People shouldn't be crying when one man gets elected to an office.
Yeah.
And that's a whole different thing. But
There-
let's continue on here because I don't want to just talk about the State of the Union.
yeah,
I think we kind of. I mean, it's been dragged through the mud for so much. Just fucking leave it. Let it die.
I'm just gonna end with this, and then we can go on from this. There's a movie called What the Bleep Do We Know?
Yep,
Have you heard about it?
I have not.
So it is a movie, and some people will joke about it, whatever. But it's all about quantum mechanics, right? Mm-hmm. And how perception and all that like affects reality, and
Sure.
just whatever, and how people get addicted to emotions, right?
They get addicted to emotions. Okay.
Yeah, and
okay. Masturbation's an emotion.
and how you just because I get emotional when I masturbate.
Just because I'm crying, Art.
so good. Oh, man,
okay,
yeah.
that's
All right. So we can explore Andrew's Corner later.
I have another podcast called Confident Weeping.
And confident weeping. Oh, Jesus. Welcome to the pleasure place. The pleasure place. All right, so back to what the bleep do we know? It goes through like how we become addicted to things and all of this, right?
Yep.
And I feel like sometimes we are addicted to
The bullshittery.
the bullshit.
Yeah.
And also like even like this, like what if Trump wasn't president? I feel like we would find something else or someone else.
Well, the thing is,
and it's I don't know. I'm not trying
Donald
to defend
Trump.
this dude.
Well, no. Well, the thing is Donald Trump was easily the most liberal candidate out of every Republican in 2016. Easily, he used to be a Democrat. It's the craziest thing because if Ted Cruz,
How was
Jeb
he
Bush,
liberal when he's such a capitalist businessman?
he was a Democrat most of his life.
Yeah.
Dude, there's a lot of Democrats that are businessmen. They
But-
just grease those palms.
But that's what's so funny though, and I think that's a great window into being quote unquote Democrat.
yeah.
It's
Oh,
like,
both-
okay, so what does a Democrat looks like? If he was a Democrat, hey peeps, check it out.
He was a Democrat.
Yeah, no,
that's
yeah.
well founded. The thing is when you ask me, there really is no true difference between Republican and Democrat.
Correct.
They just have they've split up the population into voting segments, and they appeal to those voting segments, and that's really it. And that's why duopolies suck.
And I guess my point, whatever, to go over everything was
Yeah,
just
go
like
ahead.
I feel like we're all. He's not like he's such an easy target, but I feel like we love this. We love hating this man. We love him just
People
fucking
love
shit
hating
up.
people who people love loving someone a lot of people hate too.
Yeah, no,
I went to the Amy Klobuchar announcement. Okay, she announced
you
her.
say Klobuchar?
Did I say that?
Almost.
Yeah,
It sounded like
So
Shire.
I went to the Shire. I went to her announcement. It was snowing and fucking just generally shitty out. And there was this guy yelling, waving a big flag with Donald Trump on it, and I took a picture of it.
Yeah.
It's funny, you know.
yeah,
You
yeah.
get a sense of humor. It was funny. Some dude, it was fucking freezing out there.
Yeah,
and he
it was
went. And
snowy
he
as
probably
shit.
had a good ass time.
Yeah.
Real life troll, no keyboard warrior there.
That's
real
funny.
life troll.
That's funny. Yeah.
But yeah, okay. Let's get to our real topic
Let's-
here
yes,
because we
yes,
kind
yes.
of totally just dove into that.
No, we're totally good.
Yeah, we're fine. The Green New Deal.
The Green New Deal. The
Absolutely.
new Green Deal.
And if
That's
we have
basically
not
what it is. The new
Green New Deal,
Yeah, because
it's
there has been more, or there has been previous.
New Deals,
Yes, New Deals.
not
Well,
Green New Deals, but New Deals.
No, but there has been Green Deals throughout.
No, there hasn't.
Yeah, there has.
We talking about
Boom! In my research, I found out
what? Obama?
what even before Obama.
No, a Green New Deal.
Yeah. So so she calls
What?
it Green New Deal, but yeah, like
There's been New Deals,
it has morphed into hers, which is the Green New Deal.
but they weren't called that.
No, correct.
Oh, fuck off. Oh my god. We had two different arguments right there.
Okay.
All right. So the Green New Deal, based off of FDR's New Deal proposal. That's where she
Correct.
gets it.
That's
They're circle jerking some ghosts in the White House there. And if we have not bored you yet, please go ahead and listen to our
Turn the volume way up.
and just snooze out to me reading the actual resolution. I tried to read it in the most
Sultry, sexiest
monotone
voice.
possible.
No, it was sultry, folks. Don't even let them lie to you.
I smoked a pipe while I was
I was like,
reading it.
I smoked 10 cigars.
10 cigars. But yeah, no, and I find it's interesting because there was such a big reaction to it. And depending on who you follow on social media, either AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, is a Senate darling, prudent and wise beyond her years, or she's a fucking idiot. That's the two things. That's little. I can't believe how much of a different the narrative is on this woman. It's incredibly surprising. I don't know if you've watched much of people shitting on her and then people praising her.
I remember people were giving her shit because they brought up some old videos of her in college.
Yeah,
And I remember people were like,
of her dancing.
Yeah, it was just a college video, and like people were like, oh my god, she's such an idiot, and it's like she's just.
She also said that
it was in a college-
emotions mean more than facts on CNN.
Oh.
She said emotions mean more than facts.
Yeah,
She said that her being morally right should trump her being factually inaccurate.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's crazy for an elected official. Yeah. It's one thing if you're on Instagram, if you're an Instagram person, you can speak to someone's emotions like that. But when you have power over someone else and the thing is, I'm not getting into shitting on her.
Yeah, no.
This is strictly in regards to the Green New Deal.
So I would love, as far as maybe listeners, as far as like,
take the time,
like
go listen to the
like,
podcast before you listen to the segment.
Well, no, I was gonna even say like, where is that? I would love to grab that of when she said that.
Oh, CNN?
Yeah.
All you have to do is Google Alexandria Cortez. Facts don't matter. You'll find it.
So and that's crazy to me. So I haven't heard that or seen that. So I'm like, I will probably after this podcast, I will probably go listen to that.
There's a few things. And things is she was being interviewed on CNN, which is a liberal leaning,
very liberal,
site as it is.
Yeah.
And the whole thing about this whole Green New Deal, I wouldn't even constitute it as a Green New Deal. It's a socialist vision for the United States. That is really what it is, because it goes far past energy. It goes into social reconstruction.
So I was, of course, listening to you record, and I noticed that she was adding all of these social inequality things into there, and I'm like,
she's
very
speaking
interesting.
to voter segments of the Democratic Party.
Yes, and I'm like, wow. What does that have to do with?
Fuck nothing.
Yeah,
Fuck nothing.
And so I found it very interesting. Yeah.
I think the biggest thing, so yeah, she talks about rural populations, indigenous communities, women in particular, and how this Green New Deal is going to solve every not economic opportunity, economic disparity It's going to solve economic disparity, not about opportunity, economic disparity.
Yeah.
What's the only way you can do that, especially as a government? It's to limit other people. That is the only way you're able to do that. But and regardless in that, one of the most concerning things that I saw in reading this here, and this is actually the third time I had read it, it stated how...
I wish I could read.
It stated how education needed to be provided, and higher education needed to be provided so people could participate within the deal. How I read that is that...
Yeah, like, I'm curious about that now.
I can try to find it here. All right. So, as it says here in the resolution, providing resources, training, and high-quality education, including higher education to all people in the United States, with a focus on frontline and vulnerable communities, so that all people of the United States may be full and equal participants in the Green New Deal mobilization. Now, from, to inform someone, that's an okay thing. But in the position that she's in, which is a government-led position, in control of things, like testing standards, those kind of things. Yeah. To me, it sounds like indoctrination. It states that we should not have. It should be the focus of education. Not a part of education. How at least I see it. And the thing is we've seen that in other countries, mostly communist countries, where it's a dictation of thought, is how I see it. And that is concerning.
AOC is a communist.
She's a fucking communist. Yep. Dictator. Okay. All right. But yeah, I don't know. I guess when we look at global warming in general, and this kind of
climate change.
Oh yeah, climate change. This really came into focus when I went to Amy Klobuchar's
Klobuchar.
When I went to her presidential announcement at Boom Island in Minneapolis last Sunday, she said, and we are going to fix global warming, and everyone cheered. And I look out in the parking lot, and I looked all down the street going into the event. Damn near everyone drove separately. Is the thing. And in the case is, what they're cheering, and I don't even think people understand what they're cheering is that they're saying, please make this financially impossible for me to do. I can't control myself. I cannot control myself. A lot of times when people cheer that, they think they are fighting, these big oil companies.
The company,
the man. They really do think they are. But the thing is, ExxonMobil does not burn, does not create CO2 more than its consumers do. ExxonMobil, they just get the shit out of the ground and give it to you.
Well, also it's like they wouldn't be pumping all this oil if we didn't need it.
We need it. Yes. But I think the biggest thing is we feel like we're fighting, these big faceless corporations. However, all they're doing is providing something and we're paying top dollar for it. When we cheer against global warming, we're saying, I can't stop. You need to force me to not be able to burn fossil fuels. That is one of the big things, and it seems so crazy to me in that respect.
I think to go back to what I was talking about was the whole, we don't know exactly when shit's gonna happen, why it's happening, as far as natural.
Well, regardless of the fact, I think my biggest
climate change. It's
and you can leave up the ambivalence of the science on it, but my whole thing is it's a restriction of ourselves. People don't understand that they're asking for the constriction of their lives, and there is no personal responsibility in this fight. So 32% of fossil fuels, or I'm sorry, CO2, is through transportation usage. That's not Walmart's big semis. That's you driving to work every day by yourself. It's you not taking the bus. It's not you not doing this. By saying you're providing transportation, We've seen this in the cities where we have on-ramps to the interstate get closed down during construction. Only buses are allowed on them.
Yeah.
The road works fine. However, in an effort to get more people on buses, they've restricted our movements on our roads.
Yeah, yeah.
Our gas tax is paid for those roads. At least they're supposed to.
Supposed to.
Yes. And that's a big thing. And then, 37% of CO2 emissions is heating and electricity usage. Those are our usages. How do you decrease usage at the rate that she's wanting it to decrease? You make it impossible to do so.
But that's gonna affect. So
It's
two things.
It's social change, and the only way the government can create real social change is to either A, put you in jail, get everyone off the streets, or B, make it impossible to do, usually through taxes.
Well, so here's
like cigarettes.
And my biggest thing is that I hate using scare tactics to influence.
Yeah.
But then also too, though, we have to be realistic as far as how much precious materials cost.
Like electric cars, for instance.
Electric cars,
The
but also-
most green thing you can do
Yeah.
right now is to drive your current car until the wheels fall off. Creating those batteries, making these new cars.
Yeah.
If your car is not dead in the dirt,
Yeah.
It is more environmentally conscious of you to drive that car until it can no longer go.
I always laugh. I feel like every time you turn on your television, there's a car or truck commercial.
Yeah.
I'm like, how are? And I think this is a thought I've had years ago too. It's like, are all these people really buying all these cars? Like,
Well, they cost
every
like
single year, and different companies, different, like, holy.
if you
shit.
look at the payments on these cars, they're like $800. I'm like, that's my fucking rent.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, dude.
I think it's super crazy though.
That's
as far
insane.
As, they just keep pumping out these cars.
They do. They do.
Our
Ford Focuses are no longer being made.
no, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, they're making
Yeah.
trucks and SUVs
yeah,
now.
that's too funny. Yeah.
No
more. We're done. It's like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
shit. But they're fuel efficient.
But yeah. So I guess global warming in general, we kind of differ on global warming. You're actually a little more conservative. I think global warming is something to be pretty darn concerned about. However, I think for us to constrict other people because of our unresponsibility with what's being provided to us, no one's forcing you to drive your car. You can live close to work and bike.
Yeah.
No, we're living in the suburbs.
Yeah.
We're living. We're working. I think it's an average of 20-minute drive to work.
I know someone who's like, hey, I love living in my suburb, driving my SUV,
Yeah.
and that's the way they want to live their life.
Probably got an Obama sticker on their back, or "I'm with her" sticker.
No.
That's the whole thing. We are the ones responsible for it, and for us to go to a all-powerful third party to constrict our own lives, I don't think that is translating to us properly. I feel like we are fighting some ethereal, faceless entity that's threatening the world when it's really the person in the mirror.
Interesting. Yeah. No, I would love to come to a point where,
The reason why ExxonMobil made billions last year is simply because we gave them that money. That's the only thing.
Yeah,
And
we still need. But here's the whole thing: is it's not just we need it's more plastics. It's all of this stuff that we need, like oil to keep things running so that we can have things.
In
it
the
is
end,
the
oil,
system that we have in place that. We can't just stop. And that's what's so fucked up.
Well, the thing is like oil is, if you think about it, oil is a godsend. It really is. It powered the last industrial revolution, from the 40s, 50s, 60s, I'm looking at your bread right now. It's wrapped in oil. Saran wrap.
Shut up. Keeps it fresh.
Literally
Yeah.
everything has oil. The veneer on your table that's fucking oil based.
It's a lot of oil.
And that's the craziest thing is oil is everywhere. It has amazing uses.
Yep.
The one thing that we do use it for, burning it, it does have adverse reactions. But to change our entire economy based on our misuse of these things that we are doing voluntarily, it seems absolutely asinine to me, and it's a complete misrepresentation of the argument we should be having. It's not the oil company's fault. They're just providing something to us.
Yeah.
It's us burning it. It's our own fault.
Yeah. What I want to talk about though is basically the difference.
Take that fucking bone and throw it.
No, he was choking on it and then he swallows it. Fuck. All right. Anyways, so back to what I was saying with I equated the same thing as far as like when we ship jobs out, right? Are we willing to
Buy American.
Yeah, like
invest in American.
And pay more money. And so like how do we have this system in place, right? Like, but all of America, like we all can agree. We all can agree on like, okay, we're all going to give up this because this is going to cost more.
Well,
like even with solar panels,
Yeah.
they're still super expensive. And so like we don't have an inexpensive renewable resource or renewable energy resource.
Yeah, there are options out there that you can pay for over 10 years, but not everyone has solar access.
So then
I think the biggest thing though that is being sold to the American people right now, especially by the Democratic Party, is that you are powerless. You are unable to fix these things. You need it to become illegal for your life to be saved. That's absolutely incorrect. If we all bought bikes instead of cars next year, Ford would go out of business. Exxon would go out of business.
And jobs would lose. So many jobs would be lost.
Well, the thing is we live in a system that is the most democratic. There's not a more democratic system than a capitalist society, but it has to be an informed and it has to be a caring capitalist society. What we're asking for basically is when we want to tax these corporations, when we want to force taxes on people like Amazon, in the end, all we're really doing is asking for a forced refund from what we bought from them.
Yeah,
that is literally all we are really doing in the form of healthcare and these other form of things. And in the end, those prices are re-put back on to us in the form of higher pricing. In the end, it's a cylindrical bullshitting cycle.
So, do you feel the new Green Deal? Do you feel like it's?
I think the new Green Deal.
What's her last name?
Is absolutely fine.
Yeah.
If she didn't work in government. If she was...
How so? So you're just saying because it shouldn't be government's responsibility to...
I think if we make it the government's responsibility, we make it by force. When we have everything necessary for us, if we truly cared, we would make it so. And we could do so much faster than trying to push through some fucking crazy ass bill through a divided Congress. This is never going to go through. But instead, if we took it upon ourselves, we could do it by next year. If we wanted to.
Yeah.
If we really wanted to.
Yeah.
But we don't really want to. We want to clap and cheer.
But how
and
do
we want to have an identity.
Does anything work that way, though?
I mean,
I don't think that's how things work.
But is the system not there for it to work, though? Just because we haven't taken the responsibility, if the responsibility is possibly taken, just because we haven't taken it, does that mean it's impossible?
No, but it's in reality we're supposed to go to our Congress and then
why?
And then
why are we supposed to go to our Congress?
And then they do it. And
if you don't like Amazon, don't shop at Amazon. I don't shop at Amazon.
Yeah.
Amazon, is 50% of the all online shopping goes through Amazon. I refuse to shop at Amazon because I don't want a monopoly. I refuse to shop at BP around the time of the oil spill.
Yeah,
I still bought gas, but I went to
Holiday.
Shell or Holiday.
Yeah,
Places like those. You can, marching with your dollar goes much farther than marching with your vote.
Well, that's different. Yeah.
It's how our society's set up.
Well, like, do you feel like it's the same thing with when you vote? You know how when people say voting, like your vote matters, right?
Yeah.
Does your dollar matter as much?
I mean, if no one shopped at Walmart, what would Walmart be?
No, yeah, but
Walmart wouldn't be anything.
But what if you don't shop Walmart?
If I don't
Guess
shop
what they're gonna
Walmart-
say? Fuck you. We got 10,000 other people. I remember working in my liquor store.
Yep.
And if we would have angry customers say, you know what, F you guys, I'm never coming here anyways. Guess what our fucking model was? All right, fuck you. We don't fuck. We got plenty other people.
Well, yeah, sure.
And
I
so-
suppose as far as like a business going, out of business due to societal pressure, I can't think of one.
My point is just
But-
the whole. If you don't have that many, you're.
We have a system in place. The thing is it comes down to convenience. We actually don't care. We really don't care. We do not take the steps necessary to rectify things that are within our power. And I think it is a byproduct of these politicians telling us how powerless we are, telling us that the only true
media.
change, media too, only true change can come through government because you can't do anything because you're just one fucking asshole.
Yeah.
But a lot of assholes create a lot of shit.
We'll help you.
Boom.
Boom. I like that. I like that. Yeah. Yes.
That's my whole thing.
Yeah.
I think if we actually knew our power and were taught our power, say in school or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, we, during the Revolutionary War, we wouldn't drink tea. A lot of the country didn't drink tea. That's why we drink a lot of coffee here.
But that's what, like even like
those kind of things.
But so, and I remember something else. I'm trying to remember, but just like that worked because the population wasn't as large as we have now.
It's more
and
homogeneous.
now there's way more diversity. So you're not going to have.
But if global warming affects everybody, and the thing
Climate
is
change, dude.
okay, climate change. Well, the thing is I believe you would get more general consensus on these ideas if you didn't try to put it through government, because in the end, half the country is saying, hey, we want to stop coal. There's some coal farmers over there with some sad ass stories, and a lot of neighbors are going to say, what, you want to take that dude's job? Fuck you. Instead of just not buying it, creating an environment where coal just can't exist, or just exists in a very small amount. It would be a more natural transition away from something that affected society poorly. It would leave the visceral emotional bullshit out of it. You wouldn't get these people. If people were just saying coal's bad, I don't want to use it anymore, there wouldn't be some dude out there saying we're going to save all the coal jobs, because it's in the end they're protecting them from the government. They're not protecting them from the consumer.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah. Boom.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's going to be about it, because it's Monday.
It's getting late.
I'm so
Monday.
fucked for work tomorrow. And I just Chris, are you going to come work with me?
Yeah.
I offered Chris a position and he took it.
I took it. Yeah. So upwards and onwards.
Fuck yeah. We'll be seeing far too much of each other.
Huzzah to experience. It's gonna be difficult, but I mean, we'll
be fine.
Yeah,
we'll be okay.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
No, it'll be good.
Yeah.
I fucking need you bad. Shit.
Ew.
So it'll be a great time. We'll have fun. We very much appreciate you listening to this podcast. I hope it was decently informative. I dominated the conversation the whole time, but
I feel like this is your top this week, and
This
that's
is more
totally
my
totally
topic,
cool.
yeah.
And
Yeah, this
as
is more my
a
wheelhouse,
supporting role here, I'm the X Factor. I'm the comedy relief. Wow. Anyways,
there we go.
All right. Well,
This
yes.
is gonna be a hell of a show to edit.
No, I know.
Holy fuck.
I'll get it back to you on Thursday. Yeah. All right. Well, hey, we appreciate you coming into our world, listening
Absolutely.
to us.
We so this is getting released probably what's today? Probably Wednesday at the latest. I'm hoping to do it tomorrow.
Yeah,
but, we gotta bounce and
Yeah,
everything.
we'll do it tomorrow. But real quick, we just got our little Facebook up and running and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
If, we would love suggestions.
Give us a
questions,
fucking
give us
like
a
that shit, you know.
feedback, all
We'll
that,
be
yeah.
posting whenever, you know. It's we try to keep it every Sunday we post or Monday we post.
Yep, yep.
It's gonna be Tuesday this week.
Yep.
We should be posting again Monday though.
Boom.
So
Every
give
week.
us a like on Facebook. There is gonna be a link in the description.
Yep, yep.
Follow us on iTunes. Follow us on Spotify.
Review us
We're
on-
fucking like herpes. We're everywhere.
You can't get rid of us.
You can't get rid of us.
Oh, shit.
We're here forever.
So yeah, so give us a like, all that jazz. Kind of we'll see what's going on.
Butthole herpes.
Butthole herpes. Just,
Butthole surfers.
and right now, Dwight's laying down.
He's
Just-
asleep.
He's asleep, which is perfect.
I'm gonna
so.
feed him some pizza.
Oh, perfect. All right. Well, you guys, for this week, well, that's your opinion.
fucking opinion, man.
That's your fucking opinion, man. All right. Thank you, and you guys have a great night.
What are we going to do about the other generation? How will we ever communicate without communication? When we are using words of other ways.
They're much too big to try to dig the colorful names we say.